We're going to do a little review of the Naturehike Star River 2 tent. I'm sure, like me, you've wondered how you could get a good quality tent for 150 bucks. And you can get these off Alibaba and eBay for around that price. Made in China. I think it's a Chinese brand. And after a bit of research, I thought that it was worth spending the money and checking it out. So this one has a double vestibule opening, and I ended up buying the polyester fly version after reading that nylon flies will tend to sag when they're wet compared to polyester, which tends to maintain its shape. So you can see the overall footprint. We've got a double entrance there, and if we take a look at it inside, just going to cinch this fly off here, and it's actually quite a spacious tent once you get inside. So you can see we've got 2 sleeping mats on the sides there, and quite a lot of room actually. I'm not a small person, but I can sit up without touching my head on the top. And you can see here that we've also got this double vestibule on the other side with plenty of room for a normal size pack there. Now, I was going to get this as a summer tent, and as you can see, we can actually fold these doors back completely. You can't really roll them up with one hand, unfortunately, but you can take them off completely. Roll them back, and then you've got a nice view out the door there. And you can do this on both sides. So if you're doing summer camping or spring camping, you want to have good ventilation through the night, then you should be set. Now if you're winter camping or colder climate camping, that can be done up completely. And we've got one vent at the back here, which should hopefully stop the tent from condensing. We've also got mesh, which is probably 1/3 full nylon at the base, and that'll stop drafts coming through. And then we've got mesh all through the ceiling. In terms of overall quality, we've got all the little hooks and pockets that you'd expect in a good quality tent. 2 pockets on the side there, and this one little one on the side here. Plenty of little hook spaces, one for your lamp in the middle there. I guess you could probably hang one of those little attics that you can buy pretty cheaply in here. And in terms of overall size for 2 people, I think this would be totally comfortable. Some people talk about getting a 3-person tent for 2 people, but if you're wanting to lightweight camp, then something like this is perfect. So out of the box, it does look like a pretty decent quality tent. The materials all look pretty good. All the seams are sealed. All the seams work is pretty straight. So it's obviously been made in a factory where they know how to make tents properly. I think this design is actually being copied off one of the big Agnes designs. And we'll take a look at that as we get outside again. So from the inside, you can see we've got these herringbone shaped poles. That's actually one unit. You don't need to actually click separate sections together. And it's a little bit higher at one end than it is at the other. So I'm just going to get myself out of here. We can look from the outside again. So I was just giving the tent a good drenching with a garden hose. About 2 minutes on a pretty high setting, and as you can see here, we've actually got really good beading coming off the fly, so it's obviously using some kind of DWR repellent on the fabric. And in terms of the overall footprint of the tent, the fly's got a really good distance from the inner fly, or the inner shell. Probably about 10 centimetres, let's say about that much. We can have a look at that in a second. And I think in terms of the overall design, it does shed the water well away from the fly. You've got it all set up with all of your little pegs. And as I showed you before, we've got this herringbone frame, so there's a herringbone at each end, and then a T structure coming through the centre there. I think you can actually buy a 4-season inner shell for these as well. It doesn't have as much mesh, and I think in terms of the overall frame structure, you could probably get quite a bit of snow loading on that without the tent collapsing. It's a pretty stable construction, getting a good shape there and nothing's really coming loose. In terms of the peg setup, that's probably one of the only downsides. Is we've got 8 peg points and a couple of spots that you could put some extra guy ropes if you needed to. So it's a few more pegs than you might be used to in some other lightweight tents, but generally easy to set up. We've got these little peg points down here that just kind of cinch into the pole there. And then the other nice thing with this tent is it also comes with a footbed or a ground sheet, and that clips into the poles as well. So we'll just have a look inside and make sure we're nice and dry in here. The only issue that I have had with this tent just setting it up is this outer fly zip does sometimes get stuck in this material here. So be a little bit careful with that. Just going to roll this up. Hold the do this one-handed. Okay. Just have a look back inside the tent again. Check for any leak points. And as I said before, you can see we've got good distance between the outer fly and the inner shell. It's about 10 centimetres all around, and that's just from these little hooks that hang off the poles. And looking on the inside, there's definitely no water's come through the fabric itself, and most of these key seams are sealed by the looks of things. So I'm not really expecting that there's going to be any water coming through here at all. You can still see the beading of the water on top there. So I would be quite confident taking this out into the real world, and I wouldn't be too worried about this leaking or falling over or anything like that. Also in terms of waterproofness, we've got a nice tub floor with a few seams in the corners there, which may let some water through, but that would only be possible to test if you had water coming up around the base of the tent. So I'll leave it there. I think for 150 bucks, you're going to be fine for a tent that you're probably only going to use half a dozen times a year or something like that if you're doing short overnight hikes. I actually got some real rain to test the tent out while it's still up, and it looks pretty good. You can see it all beading on the roof there. The key points where it's actually trickling down, and all those points are trickling out to the edge of the fly, which is great. So nice and comfy, nice and roomy. And just to finish off, I'm just going to show you what it looks like with both of the vestibules fully open. So it's actually a really nice design for 2 people. You've got 2 separate entrances there. It feels very roomy. Let me go around this side. So you can see you've got the second opening there. The only hesitation is that when you do open these doors do droop but you can see there that they're not actually touching the inner shell, which I'd be a little bit worried about. But obviously if it is going to be raining, you're probably going to have both of the doors completely shut. And then in terms of ventilation, you can just come straight through in here. Nice and roomy again. It's hard to show on a phone camera, but if you're just hanging out during the day, you've got full ventilation. And if you want to keep the insects out, you can just do up the sides here. I think this also comes in 3 different colours. I think it comes in a grey and a green as well. And that's with both sides done up nice and light and airy. You'd be quite happy hanging out in here reading a book during the day. Hopefully with a better view than this.